NPS divides its asset classes into broadly four categories. The very first one is asset class E, which is equity. Equity is nothing but the equity shares of different companies listed in the market. The second asset class is asset class C, which is corporate bonds. These are bonds issued by various institutions and companies. The third asset class is asset class G, which is government bonds issued by Government of India. And the last asset class is asset class A, alternative investments, which comprises of REIT, InvITs, and different other types of investments. So these are the four asset classes in which NPS invests in based on the risk appetite of the contributor. NPS further has two different investment strategies. First, let's understand what is the investment strategy. By conveying the investment strategy to the fund manager would get to know what is your risk appetite, and then based on your risk appetite, the fund manager will further invest all your money into the four different asset classes that we previously discussed. So we broadly have two investment strategies under NPS. The first one is auto choice. Auto choice is a passive strategy wherein all your contributions are invested based on the predefined formula according to the age of the contributor. For example, if the person is younger, then more of its part will be parked into equity, that is a riskier scheme. Then, as he ages, his investments will automatically move to more safer investments, that is corporate bonds and government bonds, because the yield on corporate bonds and government bonds or returns on them would be lower as compared to equity, but they are less riskier as compared to equity. So this is how auto plan works. Now, under auto plan, there are further three types of choices that an investor can choose from. The first one is aggressive life cycle fund. Aggressive life cycle fund takes more riskier assets and invests up to 75% of its corpus into equity up to the age of 35. And accordingly, after that, it will start falling down. Now, the second one is moderate life cycle funds. Under moderate life cycle fund, the equity portion is 50% up to the age of 35 years. And the last is conservative life cycle fund, where the equity investments are capped at 25%. So, based on the risk appetite of the investor, he can choose which plan suits him the most and invest in that. Another alternative investment strategy to auto choice that the investor can choose is the active choice. Under active choice, it best suits an investor who has basic financial knowledge and wants to put the asset allocation under his hand and choose where to invest. So, under active choice, an investor gives the percentage allocation to different asset classes himself, based on which the fund manager will then invest that funds. Now, under active choice also, the maximum allocation to equity is capped at 75%, that too up to the age of 50 years, after which it will start to fall about 2.5% every year and come down to 50% at the age of 60. And also, under alternative investment schemes, the maximum allocation is capped at 5%. So that was the investment strategies from which an investor can choose from based on the risk appetite of the investor. There are eight different fund managers that an investor can choose from. These are the eight fund managers that are available under NPS scheme, and you can choose any of them to invest your funds.